Bitcoin is gearing up here for a move to the upside, and the question is, how high will we actually go? And did I take a trade myself already for this position? I'm gonna tell you all of that in today's episode. And is this move to the upside preventing us from going way lower? If you think that is interesting, then should definitely stick around here. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, you like this video, and also activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these important updates. And let's directly get into today's content here. So first of all, let's start with the most important chart for today's episode, in my opinion, and that is the daily chart here for Bitcoin on Bitstamp. So what we have here is the P-cycle bottom indicator. So you see it here a little bit. And the P-cycle bottom indicator was never ever wrong to call the bottom for a Bitcoin based on the P numbers. So we have, of course, from time to time black swan events that make it less accurate, because we had here the FTX crash, but I'm not counting this in because that was something that nobody expected. And if an exchange blows up, then we have something like this. So the same goes with Corona. So if these events would have not happened, then the cycle indicator, P-cycle indicator, would have here at the right place. So normally it should have been over here, but that was like an outside event that influenced the cycle indicator. So, but regardless, what I want to show you is here something really interesting, where we are compared to the last time when the P-cycle indicator pointed out a correct bottom and we went into a parabola, and what happened afterwards. So here you can see, here we went into parabola, the price went nicely to the upside, then got a correction to the downside, went up again and got a final shakeout to the downside, and then had a lift off to over $60,000. So now when we are looking at, if we are comparing where we are right now, so we got our parabola, we had the initial correction, we got another move to the upside, we're now in another correction, and we are somewhere in this prior box here. So here's now this box. So normally we should see another breakout out of that box, and then one final touch to this downward sloping trend line that we also created on the last time before we finally went up. And we should see something similar in the near future also here once again right now. So now you have to ask yourself, okay, when we broke out of that box, how high did we actually move? So and if I go here, make this, sorry guys, if I make this here a little bit smaller, because kind of like this, yes. So here from the breakout to the move to the upside was like a 20, let's say 28% move to the upside. So if we would get now a 28% move to the upside, that would put us more or less around $35,000. So now afterwards we got a harsh correction. So we should also ask ourselves, okay, how big was the correction? So the correction was here, 64%. But you have to ask yourself, why was it 64%? So because that was not a normal drop. Look at the date. That was the Corona drop. That's why it dropped 64%. So I don't believe that this is going to drop 64%. One reason for that is if I go to let it be $35,000. If I go to $35,000 and I look how much we can drop to the downside to touch the line again, worst case would be 35%. And that is absolutely fine. In my opinion, that will be the final shakeout if this would be happening like this. And from there, it would be only up into the next bull run. But for this, first, we would go up. I don't believe that we go immediately now to $35,000. I still believe that this is a couple of weeks or even 2-3 months away. But it gives you some perspective where we might be heading over the next couple of weeks and months with that final shakeout coming. For example, one possibility when we get the final shakeout could be after the Bitcoin halving. That could be one reason or one moment that I can imagine where we could see something like this, because we always have a massive sell-off after the halving. So into the halving, we could go like 35, 40K and see then this massive sell-off to 23, 22. Now, here on the 1 hourly chart, we can still clearly see that we are outside the range here that we had created. And I have taken actually a long position, like I told you guys. So I actually took a long position. And let me show you, actually I'm going to show you in a moment on another chart where and why I took this long position. So here, something else I wanted to point out, it is a Sunday, so tonight the CME chart will open again. And if the price action stays as it is, then we will have a small CME gap. It is not really major. It's like a $100 CME gap, more or less. So the red line is where the price is right now, and the green line is where we closed on Friday. So you see that is a really small CME gap, but I believe that we will actually close today way higher than where the price action is now, potentially. And like I said, I'll show you in a second why I believe that. So, and if we do, then of course the CME gap becomes bigger, and at some point the price action has to come back down to fill it. And then normally we continue to reverse back to the upside. Here, just that you see that I actually have this trade open. So you see here, it's like almost 9% in the loss right now. So what you see, I have a trade open here, 0.66 Bitcoin position size. So, and my target is around $26,800, potentially $27,000. But on the way up, I'm gonna adjust the take profit, just that you know. So when we're going to the heat map, also here's something that I want to point out is that once we are leaving this underlying block here on the daily chart that goes all the way up to $26,660, there is not much resistance coming in for the Bitcoin price to go higher. So now, let me see how this, oh, nice. That's what I wanted. So the only bigger resistance that I see here would be around here, $27,000. That would prevent us to go a little bit higher. So, and also here, this whole cluster. Once this cluster is gone, there's really nothing stopping Bitcoin to jump directly to $28,000. So there are some orders, but don't forget, it's the weekend, so they could get easily squeezed out. And then we continue to move here to the upside. But first we have to get above $26,650. And then, step by step, we might be going higher here based on the order book. Then here, now I'm going to show you why I have taken that trade. So here on the 4-hourly chart, you can clearly see the stochastic RSI is pointing to the upside. So momentum is to the upside. The normal RSI is kind of pointing to the upside. And we are about to getting a buy signal also on the MACD, because the trend line is going over the signal line. And you see also here sell volume drying up on the histogram of the MACD. So and that all that, including the price action, was suggesting that it is a good moment to take a position. I think my stop loss is kind of like 26,300. Yes. So and my target my highest target would be 27,200. So, but I have, as you know, my first target is here like 26,800. So you see here that is not really a good risk to reward ratio, but that's why I'm saying I gonna adjust it if I see that we go here insanely to the upside, potentially to $27,200. Then it becomes better. Then it's a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. it's more or less a scalp trade. So I use high leverage on that. And that's why it's for me absolutely fine. So, but there's still the risk that we go afterwards lower. That's why I'm not targeting any higher levels for that. And will also adjust my stop loss once we are moving a little bit higher. Set this to my entry to protect myself. Let's say when we go to 26,800, then I'm going to move my stop loss to my entry, and we'll reassess the situation if it goes higher or not. So one reason why I'm taking this trade, or basically another reason why I'm taking this trade, is here all these imbalances that we have created. And they are not filled yet. So we only filled here this one. This one. This one we did fill. But all these here are unfilled. And the way that the price action is behaving right now is suggesting that we could see a spike to the upside just to fill all of them and come straight back down. And then actually fall also back into the range and potentially trade lower. So that's why I want to scalp this to the upside and potentially take in a short back to the downside because of all these imbalances that are unfilled right now. So, and once we are breaking here successfully above $26,650, I think we're gonna see a quick jump to $26,800, $27,000. It will be a quick one in my opinion, and that's why I have this trade. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade with me together, do it on BYBIT. You still get 30K if you sign up with my specific link here. Only with that link you will be able to claim that. And if you want to learn properly how to trade, then go to my homepage, amcrypto.us. There you can sign up for my mentorship program or for one of the other courses. I spent months developing this course. It's the most extensive course I've ever done, and it will help you so tremendously for the next bull run. So in my opinion, it's a must-have course to be prepared for the next run to the upside. Because it might be the last chance to make life-changing money in this market. Here is one of the indications why I don't want to trade this higher, let's say to 30K. When we're looking here on the BLX chart, we still have this death cross coming in, and learn and behold, this fractal that I copied here is playing out to the T for the time being. When I zoom in here, you're gonna see it. So you see the price action should have come up here to the moving averages and should get rejected afterwards, and this is exactly what we are seeing here right now. So, and yeah, if we move here in over the next couple of days a little bit lower, that will basically cement it. Yeah, in my opinion, you know. So, and then we can expect somewhere in October the a low point, and from there it should go only up. So, and it, of course, that will of course be also really good for altcoins overall. So, but yeah, we should be prepared that we have here something like a falling wedge. We should come back to the bottom of that twice potentially. If we continue to follow this fractal and then see a breakout by the end of October to the upside. And that could coincide with ETF news. You should not forget, in October are multiple ETFs coming up for approval. And if only one of them gets an approval, that could ignite that run here out of that falling wedge to the upside. Actually, I did not see before that we are potentially forming here a falling wedge. Just saw that here based on that pattern, which is nice because then we can trade this accordingly. Let me see, guys. So here on that short, nothing has changed on that daily chart. So you would be not too late to enter this, but for now I would wait because, like I said, I expect Bitcoin to go a little bit higher. Like I said, most likely to the entry here of that short, or potentially even a little bit higher to like $27,200. If you want, you can then enter there the short. And I still believe that we will come down here to $25,200 and potentially a little bit lower over the next couple of days, or couple of days up to 2 weeks in my opinion, based on this fractal that we are following for now with the price action. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.